Crime rates are projected to spike in 2025, with new forms of crime evolving faster than our ability to stop them. From sophisticated cyber attacks to complex fraud schemes, we're facing a dangerous new frontier. As we approach 2025, we're seeing a shift in the landscape of criminal activity. Emerging crimes aren't just becoming more frequent, they're becoming harder to track and more difficult to prevent. From digital threats to drug-related offences, these crimes will not only rise in volume, but also in complexity. Today, we'll dive into the specific crimes that are expected to get much worse in 2025 and why they pose such a serious risk to society. Whether you're an everyday citizen or involved in law enforcement, understanding these trends is crucial as we look toward the future. Current crime trends are deeply influenced by the digital transformation of society, economic instability, and the global flow of information. Cybercrime, for instance, has already surged by nearly 300% in the past few years, with hackers targeting everything from personal data to critical infrastructure. Social and economic conditions, such as the lingering effects of the pandemic, are also fueling the rise of fraud and drug-related offences. As technology becomes more advanced, so do criminals' tactics, and the opportunities for crime grow at an alarming rate. Let's break down the most concerning crimes that experts expect to escalate in 2025. First up is cybercrime. We're already seeing hackers use AI to automate attacks, making cybercrimes faster and more damaging. Phishing scams, ransomware, and deepfake fraud are all expected to increase in both frequency and sophistication, with individuals, corporations, and even governments falling victim. Next, we have financial fraud. As digital transactions become the norm, criminals are developing more complex fraud schemes. This includes cryptocurrency scams, online identity theft, and insider trading through deep analysis of digital patterns. Scammers are finding new ways to manipulate markets and individuals alike. Drug-related crimes are also expected to worsen. Synthetic drugs, especially fentanyl and designer opioids, are becoming more accessible and cheaper to produce. Dark web markets and decentralized supply chains make it easier for these substances to reach users, fueling addiction and overdose crises worldwide. Finally, we can't overlook the rise of environmental crimes. With climate change intensifying, illegal dumping, deforestation, and wildlife trafficking are all expected to rise as resources become more scarce and regulations harder to enforce. Let's look at some real numbers to back this up. According to cybersecurity firm Cybersecurity Ventures, global cybercrime costs are projected to reach $10.5 trillion annually by 2025, up from $6 trillion in 2021. We've already seen major corporations like Colonial Pipeline fall victim to ransomware attacks that crippled entire supply chains. On the fraud front, the Federal Trade Commission reported a 70% increase in cryptocurrency-related scams in 2022, a number that's expected to skyrocket as more people invest in digital currencies without fully understanding the risks. And when it comes to drug-related crimes, the World Health Organization predicts that synthetic opioids like fentanyl will be the leading cause of drug-related deaths by 2025. In 2023 alone, the United States reported over 100,000 drug overdose deaths, the majority involving synthetic opioids. The drug trade is evolving, with dealers using encrypted communication and anonymous online marketplaces to evade detection. These numbers paint a disturbing picture of where we're headed. Some might argue that with advancing technology, law enforcement will have the tools to fight back. After all, we're seeing increased investment in AI-driven crime prevention and tighter security measures. But here's the catch. Criminals are always one step ahead. As law enforcement agencies work to develop new technologies, cybercriminals are already exploiting loopholes and creating new ways to avoid detection. While technology and law enforcement will continue to play a role, the challenge is that the landscape is changing too fast for most organizations to keep up. To sum it up, the emerging crimes of 2025 will be defined by their complexity and scale. Cybercrime, fraud, drug trafficking, and environmental crimes are all poised to become more sophisticated and widespread. The challenge is not just about law enforcement keeping up, but also about public awareness. Understanding these trends is the first step in staying protected. While the future may seem uncertain, being informed helps us stay one step ahead. So, what do you think? Which emerging crime do you believe will have the biggest impact in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of crime and criminology.